Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shanice. I'm here to talk to you guys about starting a life for yourself after coming out of a really toxic relationship. If you're in a toxic relationship right now, toxic marriage, whatever the case may be, I'm here to talk to you about finding independence and coming out of codependency. So a little bit about my situation. I had always been taken care of by my parents, my mother specifically. That is another toxic relationship, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. So I had always been taken care of, and when I left my home where I was taken care of, I went into another situation and got married and found myself in another codependent relationship where I was being taken care of. I couldn't really find independence on my own. So I just want to kind of inspire some hope if you are in a situation like that. I just want to tell you some ways that you can get out of it. So I have 8 steps. That's 8, yes. I have 8 steps to tell you how to leave a toxic relationship and start a life for yourself and build your confidence and become independent, and so you can, you know, do whatever it is that you want to do after that. So the first step that I have is letting you know you don't have to be ready to leave the relationship if you want to leave. I think a lot of people feel like I just need to feel like I'm done. I need closure. Everything needs to come together in the relationship, and it has to be this like grand experience that lets you know, okay, now is the time to leave. When I left my last relationship, that was super toxic and codependent and emotionally abusive, I wasn't ready. I was still hanging on to something. I was still, you know, trying to find a way to make it work when I knew that it wasn't deep down. So I'm just here to tell you, you don't need to know that it's time to leave. If you can just make a graph and look and see how you're being treated, if it's emotionally abusive, if it's definitely physically abusive, it's time to go. There's a way to be treated and there's a way not to be treated. So you don't have to be ready in order to leave the relationship. You just have to know that you need to leave. Like, think about it. Like, if one of your friends was in this relationship that you're in and all of these things was happening to them, what advice would you give them? What would you say to them? Would you want them to stay in the relationship, or would you kind of lean more towards them leaving? So that's the first thing. I think that's really important. You do not have to be ready in order to leave. There's nothing, you don't need an epiphany from God to know that you're ready to leave the relationship. Okay, the second thing, this is very important, savings. Savings. You need to have some type of savings. I don't care if it's $500 or $1,000, you need to have some type of savings. You need to have means to take care of yourself. So specifically what I did is, so I was in a relationship where my partner paid the bills, every single last bill, but that also came at an expense. Yeah, it came at an expense. So what I did was I got a job. I was saving. Don't divulge your plans. If you have a savings, make a secret savings. It's not something that you need to be forthright about. That's just the tea. You don't have to be forthright about it. You just need to have some type of savings. I think I saved like maybe $2,000 before I decided to leave, but I had a savings. That's very important. Please make sure that you have a savings, okay? And if you're like, oh, I don't have a job, I don't know what to do, I have kids, I don't know what to do with my kids, listen. Wherever there's room for an excuse, you will make one, I promise you. There's not a good enough excuse. I promise you. All the excuses I made, and they were never good enough. So if you have kids, I had a son in this relationship, so I was really stepping out on a limb. So if you have kids, you know, find childcare for your kids. There's so many state benefits that will like help pay for your kids to go to childcare based on like your family's income. There's all different opportunities out there for you to kind of have some type of childcare if you have kids. If not, good for you. Okay, good for you. So anyway, yeah, savings is super important. Find childcare if you need it for your kids, and start to build your savings. Even if you put a little bit away at a time, have a secret little savings for yourself. The third thing that I would say is definitely accept help from your friends. That's really important. I know sometimes in a lot of relationships, they kind of make you like burn bridges with your friends because that toxic person tries to isolate you away from everybody else. If you can, you know, hold on to the friends that you have and accept help from them in any way that you need to. If you need a place to go for a little while, if you need, you know, help with kind of finding resources, let your friends help you. They want to help you. If you've already burned bridges, try to go back and apologize and really be vulnerable and explain your situation. Let them know kind of what's going on in your life and let them know that you really need a friend, and apologize if you've already been a bad friend, we'll call it that. You've already been a bad friend. Just apologize. The people that love you will forgive you. I promise you. Reach out to your friends, okay? Don't isolate yourself, honey. Okay. The fourth thing that I would say is, this is for those people that have kids. Do not use your kids as an excuse. I don't want my kids to grow up this way and I don't want them to be in a broken family. Those things are, you know, it's lovely to think, but what's worse? Having your kids be in a two-parent household where each parent and partner is healthy, or having them grow up seeing toxic and abusive behavior? You have to really think to yourself and find out for yourself which one of those is worse. I knew for me, it would be worse to have my son, I have a son, thanks. It would be worse to have my son grow up in a household that like wasn't safe and wasn't loving. That would be much worse than having him grow up in a two-parent household that, you know, with two somewhat healthy people, you know? So don't use your kids as an excuse. If you find yourself doing that, know that that excuse is more for you and not for them. You have to like swallow that harsh reality of that behavior. The fifth thing, so this kind of ties into like finding a job for yourself. If you are married and you like are like, how am I gonna get divorced? How am I gonna pay for a divorce? What am I gonna do? If you get a job, a legal job, maybe as a legal assistant or a legal secretary somewhere in a law firm, a lot of those jobs just require training. I have a high school diploma and like some college experience. Get a job as some type of legal professional, maybe a legal assistant, anything like that. Legal secretary, you know, something in the legal field where you can get a job at a law firm. A lot of those jobs just take training. They train you on the job. You don't have to have any prior experience. I didn't. Before I became a legal assistant, I didn't have any prior experience. I had never really been on my own and had like a real job before. But I found this job and I'm able to like build a career out of that. And all it took was some training and some hope, you know? So pursue a legal job as a legal assistant. Do not think that you can't do it. Be like, oh, I don't have any experience, I can do that. I don't want to hear that. It's not true. I didn't have any experience as a legal assistant, but still I was able to find a job as a legal assistant. They trained me, and now look, I'm 3 years in, I've been a legal assistant, and it's provided like a home for me and my son. Don't think that you can't do it. You can. Just any type of job, really. Make sure that you find a job, whatever it is. Don't think that you can't do something. You can. The sixth thing that I have, move in silence. What did Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Move in silence. Don't feel like you need to tell the person that you're trying to get away from all of your moves. They're gonna just discourage you. I remember when I was leaving the person that I was with, they told me, you can't do it. You think you can pay bills? You think you can do all these things? What makes you think you can do that stuff? And I believed it for a while, but I couldn't stay there because if I did, I wouldn't have the things that I have now. Make sure that you keep your plans to yourselves. Keep your savings to yourselves. Keep your business to yourself. If you're really ready to leave, you're not gonna try to say things to trigger them so they want you to stay. Oh, well, I'm doing this. Look what I'm doing. Don't you want me? Be quiet. Mind your business and let them do whatever it is they're doing. They're too wrapped up in their own stuff to probably even worry about what you're doing. Move in silence. Okay? Number 7, believe in you. You really have to have the belief system that you can make this happen. People with lesser talents than you make a life for themselves, taking care of themselves every single day. Why do you think that you can't do it? What's the reason? I feel like the mental part of leaving is half the battle, if not 80% of the battle. You have to mentally train yourself to believe in yourself. And if you don't, fake it. Act like you do even if you don't. You have to believe that you can get things done, okay? So the last thing is, it kind of ties into the believe in you, but you have to have hope. You have to have hope that things will work out. I know when I was leaving, I was like, I'll probably be alone forever. I won't be able to pay my bills. I'll probably go broke. I'll probably have to go back at some point. And none of those things have happened. I've made a beautiful life for myself. I'm completely independent. I take care of myself and my son. I've found this amazing person that I'm in love with now that is healthy. When you're healthy, you can attract healthy people to you. I promise you. You just have to believe in yourself, okay? I know that it's super hard and you have people in your life at the moment maybe that are like putting you down and they want you to believe that you can't do it. So you'll have to stay there in that toxic situation with them. Just as much as you think that you need them, they feel like they emotionally need you to be there to lift them up even though they're tearing you down. You don't have to deal with that. You just have to have hope that in the future, everything that's for you will come to you if you make the appropriate choices. You can't hope for a life and not kind of act towards it. You can't do that. So these are 8 steps to help yourself leave a toxic relationship, marriage, whatever it is for you. Even if it's like you being at, you know, living with a family member. If it's toxic, it's toxic. Toxic is toxic. Just remember to like believe in yourself because you definitely can make this happen for yourself. You know, if I can do it, who am I? I'm no better than you. You're probably way smarter than me. But no, seriously, those are 8 steps. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. There's gonna be a lot more videos to come with more specific details of how I was able to make a life for myself while being in a codependent and toxic relationship. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you come back and watch more videos with me. I also wanna get into talking about like a weight loss journey and things like that, but I wanna kind of slowly, you know, ease into those things. First, I just want to talk about like how I built the mindset that I have now to kind of create the life that I have for myself. So thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you.